Member for Ottawa-Orléans.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My question's for the Premier. Premier, cities and towns across Ontario are struggling under increased public health expenses due to COVID-19, lower user fees, property tax deferrals, and lower transit ridership. And due to provincial inaction, their options are bleak. Municipal leaders will soon be forced to make what some Royal Bank economists have described as draconian cuts to important city services like youth job training, public transit, and public health. Or they can introduce massive, unaffordable property tax increases that will cripple families and stifle the economic recovery. Either of these options will only hurt those who have been hurt most during this pandemic, women, young people, and low-income Ontarians. So my question is very simple, Mr. Speaker. When will the government take action to support Ontario residents by supporting the towns and cities they call home?
The Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing.
Thanks, Speaker, and through you, I want to thank the member for the question. I was proud to stand with the Premier last week as we increased again our commitment to municipalities under our Social Service Relief Fund. We added an additional $150 million to the already $200 million fund, making the total contribution to our municipal partners $350 million. But Speaker, I will take this opportunity to thank the Premier for his incredible leadership that he's done with other premiers from other provinces and territories, with his discussions with the Prime Minister. There has been no one, and I want to stress this, Speaker, no one with a stronger voice than Premier Ford that is standing up for our municipal partners. He has been very clear that given the size and the magnitude of this problem, we need the federal government to come to the table. I want to thank the Premier for his commitment for our municipal partners.
Order. The supplementary question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I think the Argos are back in town, given how much the government's punting the ball to the feds. My supplemental is for the Premier. Every day, millions of Ontarians take public transit to work. Many of them are essential workers, and as the economy comes back, more and more people will be riding public transit. Now is absolutely the worst time for service cuts in public transit. Ontario's large urban mayors have projected a transit revenue shortfall of over $400 million from April to June. We're now in July, and nary a word from the government on supporting cities with their public transit needs. Cities are going to be forced to either raise fares or cut routes. My question to the government is simple. Will they support cities and public transit to avoid service cuts and increase in bus fares?
Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing.
Well, thanks, Speaker, and again, through you to the honourable member. Our government has been very clear right from the start that we support our municipal partners. The Premier and I and other ministers have stated publicly that we support the Federation of Canadian Municipalities and their ask to the federal government. We have stated very clearly that we support the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, the AMO ask that they've done in conjunction with CUPE. And we support the large urban mayors ask of the federal government. We will be at the table, Speaker, with our share, but we need, because of the magnitude of this problem, in not just Ontario municipalities, but every municipality in every province and every territory in the country, we need the federal government to join Premier Ford in asking for that desperate financial support.
Response.